I heard a sermon just a few weeks ago, and it was taken from the book of Colossians, where Paul greeted the people of Colossus with love, with peace, with understanding. And this evening, I greet you with love, with understanding, and with peace. Welcome. I'm Annie Doris Bryant Robertson, and it is my pleasure to greet you in behalf of our sponsors and all our well-wishers. Now, to our program participants, Mr. Walt Maddock, we're glad you're here with us this evening. And I just said I'm very bold, and I'm going to put this out there in the atmosphere. I want to say that he is the most qualified candidate in Alabama's history. And I want you all to know that he led the effort in developing a mega city from splinters that were left by the horrific 2011 storm. And we thank you. Mr. Curtis Travis, he's around here someplace. I mean, the hardest working campaign manager in the area. And I want to thank him and the staff for coming with us this evening. And to Dr. Boyd. Dr. Boyd, raise your hand. Dr. Boyd, you are all right with us. And y'all, he's all that and some more. You all are here. And now to our sponsors. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. As most everyone know, we are a group of college-educated women dedicated to public service. I greet you in behalf of our president, Zeldra Walters. Now briefly, while my comments need not be eternal to be everlasting, my cousin. Delta's programs include educational development, economic development, physical and mental health, international awareness and involvement, and lastly, that which brings us here this evening for this occasion, political awareness and involvement. Delta Sigma Theta was founded in 1913 by 22 courageous women on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. The very first public act of Delta Sigma Theta was to work diligently as suffragettes, and that means these young women went out and marched Washington for the right to vote. And as you know, women, we are still fighting for our rights right here in 2018. And let me tell you this, with 904 chapters worldwide and over 300,000 members, Delta Sigma Theta is the largest sorority in the world. I would go on and say a little bit more, but you all would say I'm bragging. So I'm just going to say, no brag, just fact, and I'm going to continue. The Elite Mennonite Organization, will you please stand? This is a grassroots ladies service organization, and it was founded in 1970. And we are still growing strong. Please know I was not a member at that time. But in 1986, the group received a proclamation from the state of Alabama acknowledging our exemplary acts of public service. And now, the Sunshine People, we have a few of them here tonight. We are a group, we call ourselves the AAR peers. You have to be 50 years plus, and you know what? I'm just there. I'm just getting there, y'all. And we meet each third Tuesday. We have fun, we have food, we have fellowship, and we have an excellent time. And if you're 49 years old or so, come join us. The city of Demopolis. Thank you, Marilyn. You're so kind. He is the people's mayor. And we also have other elected officials, but you'll get a chance to meet them later. The Theo Ratliff Center and exercise team. Thank you, Mr. Ed Ward. I know you're around here. There he is. And my Theo Ratliff dance and exercise team. You all, if you want to exercise and meet nice ladies, please come Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But now if it rains, we don't exercise. We're dry weather exercisers. They're more than an exercise group. They're family. They're sisters. Oh, and the Robertson Banking Company. No relationship. But they treat me so very kind, and you too when we walk through the doors. And the King Scholarship Foundation is another one of our sponsors. It was founded by yours truly in the year of 2007, and we give cash scholarships exclusively to young men in 12th grade, so that they can attend college. Now, if you are a member, and I want my Delta sisters to stand first, if you would. Please stand, Deltas. Delta Sigma Theta. Thank you all very much. Remain standing, remain standing. And I would like if you are a member of a Greek letter fraternity or sorority, will you please join us in standing? And I have a challenge for us. Let us work diligently so that we will have, a showing like we never had in the state of Alabama on November the 6th. And Thomas Rogers, you're in charge. I saw Thomas. Raise your hand, Thomas. He's in charge. He's going to get us together. And finally, if you did anything to help make this program a success, Laurie Hall, all of you good guys, okay, what I want you to do, I want you to give yourselves a big, big round of applause. Everybody. Because I cannot name all the names. I can't name them. And so I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And y'all know that song, Won't He Do It? Won't He Do it? He's gonna do it.
Give my cousin a round of applause, please. Thank you so kindly for the greetings and the acknowledgement of all of our sponsors. And we do want to put off our hats to all of the sponsors, all of the statewide, countywide, and local officials for all of the support that you have given toward this effort on this evening. It's so good to see all of you out this evening at this affair. I was really engrossed with the Theo Ratliff exercise group. She said it was a bunch of ladies. Then she said it was a bunch of ladies. There were no men involved in the exercise program. But she also said that if you want to come and meet someone, and she was talking to men folk, come and meet. So I guess I'm going to invite myself and see what's available at the exercise program. I make sure I won't come on a rainy day. Thank you. At this time, Dr. Will Boyd, candidate for Lieutenant Governor for the state of Alabama, will come and share with us at this time. Let's give him a round. Please stand, please stand, please stand, please stand.
Good evening, everyone. everyone. Pastor, thank you. Give honor to the mayor. Give honor to our future governor and all of you elected officials here, Republicans, Independents, Democrats, no matter who you are. Thank you so much for this opportunity to come to this voter education program and share the news about what we're doing in communities like these and all over the great state of Alabama. I drove here, at least I rode here this evening, all the way from Florence, Alabama. And even though a Kappa Alpha Psi man drove me here, I'm an Omega Psi Phi man myself. Too sad. 1911 is a good year though. I'm married to Vita Boyd, who is a Delta. She's been a Delta at least 24 years. And we've been married over 20 years. We have 3 kids, and we're just honored to serve on a ticket with a great man like Walt Maddox. Would you give him a great hand clap tonight? I know the governor was invited, but Walt Maddox shows up everywhere, and he is ready to serve, and we just appreciate his commitment to service, and we're glad that all he's already done and looking forward to greater things. Now I'm going to sit down. I was not given a time limit, but I know how to aim high, strike fire, and sit down. I serve as a bishop to churches worldwide. I serve as a pastor of a 159-year-old church. I may look like the founder, but that's just what the campaign trail did to me. You all pray for me. I'm running for lieutenant governor because I want every Alabamian to have a shot at the American dream. And we have right now 75,000 people who are out of work, even though our current administration is bragging that this is the lowest unemployment. And you'll hear nationally that this is the lowest unemployment since, I should say, 49 years now, been running that way. But listen to what's happening. 75,000 of our brothers and sisters are looking for work. 36,000 jobs are open, but people don't have the right skill set. I've served as a dean, a professor. I've served in engineering and a whole lot of other positions that God has allowed me to. But one of the things I know is that if you prepare people and connect people, they can do better. And Alabama knows how to bring jobs to Alabama, but we don't know how to restrict the jobs for Alabamians. And we need to stop having tax abatement, tax increment financing, and allowing companies to come in and drop plants on our soil, but don't employ our people. We need to make sure we put people to work in Alabama who have the right skill set and who are ready to move our state forward. For too long, we've left millions of dollars on the table, not investing in transportation, like high-speed rail and many other opportunities that the federal government has laid out. Beyond putting people to work, we have a problem with 1 million people who have pre-existing conditions. And we have, believe it or not, 125,000 women without access to health care. We are struggling with rural hospitals that are closing, not all over the nation, but even in Alabama. We are struggling today with this problem. So that's why I'm looking forward to a Maddox Boyd ticket, where you're going to see not long from now by executive order when this man is sworn in January, where Medicaid is expanding, where more jobs are created. You're going to see in just a little while with the new governor that something amazing is going to happen. You're going to see beyond jobs, healthcare, most importantly in my mind, education is about to go to another level. We need educators who can go to the schools and teach and not worry about being resource officers. We need kids like mine who are 5 and 12 and 15 to go to work packing only lunch boxes, not medical kits, because they're afraid someone's going to come in the door at any time. We need safe security zones. We need to make sure we have wraparound services. We don't need to rob the educational trust fund just to take care of the general fund any longer. We need people concerned about investing in our children. So as I close today, as a preacher, I'm not going to give you 19 conclusions. I don't see any ushers that can lock the doors and take the collection plate for me. But let me just say, there's a lot of opportunity that we have to change Alabama. Whether you're Republican, Independent, or Democrat, nothing changes until we learn to get out to vote. And everywhere we go, as Deltas, as Omegas, as Kappas, Alphas, Sigmas, whatever we may be, we like to tell people, get registered. But Bill Clinton said there's nothing more fundamentally important than for the voices of all people to be heard at the ballot box. And we can do all the registering we want, with all the barbecue chicken, all the ribs, all the barbecue that we can roll out. We even had shrimp and grits last week when we were in Marengo County here last time. But until we get the buses moving on November 6th and knock on every door and drag people out of the house and say your vote doesn't count on November 7th, until we tell people, African Americans, 120,000 who voted for Hillary but did not vote for Doug, that they need to get out and go to work and vote on November 6th, will we see change in Alabama? So my brothers and sisters, my friends in Marengo County, Indianapolis, help us educate the voters. I travel all around the state. Walt Maddox travels all around the state. And no matter how many hands we shake, babies we kiss, people we turn upside down and try to get cash out of their pockets, people still say, I didn't know you were on the ballot. Now, it's one thing to say, I didn't know you were on the ballot when you're 6 months out from the election. But when you're only 4 weeks away from the election, that's a shame on the voter. So I commend you tonight for doing all you can to educate every voter. Let's leave here tonight calling our family, sharing, texting, doing everything we can to educate everybody we can. Lastly, now is the time. Now is not the time to sit at home and say we're not going to do anything election day. No matter what your political affiliation is, when we get out and vote, we tell the world that we believe that people may have been hung, people may have died, sweat, blood, and tears may have been shed, so we can go and cast that ballot on election day. Let's not lose that sacred right. Let's not forget what we've been blessed to have, and let's exercise our right to vote. I'm Will Boyd, your next Lieutenant Governor, running in the great state of Alabama. And I thank you, Marengo County, for this great opportunity. May God bless you all. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. I can imagine in my own mind that when you at church service on Sunday, how inspirational you are to your parishioners.
After his speech, Dr. Will Boyd took the time to talk to one of the retired educators about her issues with testing, and went on to talk to some of the students at the event.
Sarah McVeigh, I met James McVeigh.
He's a twin.
And I met your dad too. Your dad's a union president, right? What an honor to meet him. I gave him my phone number because I'm a union person too, or at least I'm excited about unions. So what are you doing in school?
A senior. I'm about to go into education.
Okay, well thank you. We'll shake hands one more time. All right. You want a prize tonight too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's going to be your major?
I'm trying to do engineering.
The McVeigh twins went on to tell Mr. Will Boyd about their senior year and what they plan on doing after graduation. They also went on to let Mr. Boyd know about the careers of their family members.
My mom's a teacher, 4 of my aunts are teachers, my cousin's in teaching, and then one on the summer.
Oh my goodness. Family of educators too.
Yeah, so that's where his question
And educators, it just baffles me. Probably, again, I believe pastoring and education leaders are the ones who do the hardest jobs, but lowest paid. Educators are not always at the top of the food chain.
Like some teachers can do like so much like overtime, like working extra hours, but they don't get anything.
Don't get paid for it. And people say, well, you get off 3 months. No, you get paid for the whole year. It's not as high competitively as other professions. You work year round. Even during the summer, you're preparing. You don't get all the money you need to buy the supplies for kids. And like you said, you go to work an hour before everybody else, stay an hour later, and you keep grading papers late at night. My mom used to have totes all over the bed.
Your mom has a little cart she brings home with all her schoolwork.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But thank you for your service, Ms. McVeigh. All right, Mr. McVeigh. And you all reach out to me again.
This is the lunch Linda Tarsavina with the OnPoint Channel News, and I'm here with Dr. Will Boyd. And we're here at the Theo Ratliff Center in Demopolis, Alabama, where we're doing a voter registration drive and just teaching people about the different things of voter registration. And also, Mr. Boyd was giving his information on his platform. So can you give some of our viewers some personal things about you? Because I think you said you were a bishop?
Bishop, churches worldwide. I pastor a 159-year-old church in Florence, Alabama. I'm a husband to a wife with 3 kids, ages 5, 13, and 15. And so I live in Florence, Alabama, which is in the northwest corner of our great state.
Wow, okay, well, I do have an uncle that lives in Florence, so I do know a little about Florence, not much. And then I did go to A&M, so I kind of
okay, then you know exactly where we are.
Yes, sir, I did. So you said your church is 159 years?
159 years, the 3rd week in October. St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church. It's founded in 1859 by slaves.
Wow.
And we are a church that's on the move, still doing great things, and interdenominational. Well, we're a Baptist church, but I should say we're a church that has people of all backgrounds.
Gotcha.
We don't get hung up into colors and where we came from and all that. We're excited about where we're going.
Yes, sir. That's the most important thing about religion, especially to me. So, what are some of the issues that that you find that some of your parishioners are dealing with that you're going to focus on?
Believe it or not, as I was starting to say, I serve as a bishop of churches that are international, worldwide. Serve as a missionary Baptist pastor. And one of the things that we actually realize everywhere we go in ministry and actually even on the campaign trail, people are struggling with health issues and mental health. And people mistakenly think, well, they're the same thing. Reality, they're not. So mental health obviously are challenges that relate to any problems people may have, believe it or not just in prison, but all over. Even people in the education system where they're challenged, how can I feel supported? How can I feel loved? How can I feel like I belong? My background also is in Christian clinical therapy.
Okay.
So from a Christian worldview, we look at ways to explore how we can help people discover their identities, who they are. You know, we're peculiar people, royal priesthood, chosen generation. We know that, but you know, we get beat up on so much every day, and we feel like we don't belong to a group. We feel like we don't identify with the population. We tend to just silo ourselves, and before we know it, we're in trouble. So one of the things we've been doing with our campaign is telling everybody everywhere we go, we want every Alabamian to have a shot at the American dream.
Okay.
We want every Alabamian to feel like they can get a good job, have access to education and health care. And when we lay out a plan for each of these, people get excited and they want to check out our candidacy, our platform, which is at willboydforalabama.com.
Okay, awesome. Now, I'm going to say something that you might laugh at. But a lot of people in my generation call Alabama the retirement state, and we all try to leave Alabama.
Wow.
But you're going to try to change this, right?
We're going to change Alabama. Believe it or not, Florida is known like a retirement state, right? Alabama has a lot to offer. But sadly, we have 900,000 people in poverty. 300,000 are actually children.
Wow.
We have an education system that's struggling. Only 29% of pre-K is actually fully funded. We're seeing where people aren't prepared to go out in the workforce. You heard our future governor talk about when there's 75,000 jobless people out there, people who don't have a job. 36,000 jobs hanging out there because we don't have the right skill set.
Wow.
People feel there's no hope. So people need to know in Alabama, I can get a job, I can succeed, and I can do well. So young people, don't leave Alabama. Vote, and in 29 days, you're going to see a brand new Alabama where we're putting people back to work in high-paying jobs in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
See, he talked about all my fields. Y'all know, I always say I'm a science teacher.
That's right.
I do music, and I advocate a lot with arts. And I feel like the arts have been left out of schools, and you're losing a lot of kids who have those skills. They're not getting a scholarship.
That's right.
So I think we're losing a lot of those kids. So I really appreciate that. And is there anything else that you might want us to know about you or your platform?
Well, my platform can be found at willboydforalabama.com. You want to follow my campaign, it's at Will Boyd for AL. You can find me on Facebook at Dr. Will Boyd for Alabama, Dr. Will Boyd or Will Boyd. I'm out there on social media, folks, so please check me out. But I just want everybody to know that we want to put Alabama back to work.
Yes.
We want high quality education. We want everybody to have access to truly affordable health care.
Yes.
And we want to offer that mental health services that are needed. And just make sure Alabama has everything it needs so everybody has a shot. And I believe when people check out my platform, visit walkmatics.com as well.
Yes.
You're going to see what we have to offer Alabama. Don't leave Alabama. Stay with Alabama.
If you leave to go for school, come back.
Come back. Come back.
Now,
come
we're
back.
not saying don't, but come back.
Come back. Alabama's a great state with a lot to offer.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Coming, and thank you for this
The
interview.
OnPoint channel.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited about being on it, and I'm going to make sure I share this with everybody I know.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.